Good morning, dear students of class 12. Welcome to the English online learning class. Today we are going to take up further the lesson from your supplementary reader Vistas, chapter 6, On the Face of It by Susan Hill. First, let us have a quick recap what we did in the previous classes. The lesson is in the form of a play and it starts in Mr. Lamb's garden, who is the owner of this garden, an old man. And Derry, who is a young boy of 14 years, has come into his garden. Because he sees nobody there. He thinks the place to be empty and he is on the lookout of an empty place where he could spend the rest of the day. He is suffering from lot of negativity. He has a disability. Half side of his face is burnt. He has suffered an acid attack. Now he feels that nobody likes him and he is very depressed. Mr. Lamb joins him and he starts a conversation with the boy. The boy is initially reluctant. He makes an excuse and he wants to leave the place. But there is something charismatic about Mr. Lamb which does not allow Derry to leave. He listens to him. He replies. He also starts sharing, and gradually he develops confidence. He starts liking what Mr. Lamb is saying, and Mr. Lamb also starts giving his pearls of wisdom to the boy. He begins by saying, it is not in the form of a sermon or preaching. He gives him very practical day-to-day examples, which appeals to the child. And we see gradually the child is opening up with Mr. Lamb. He started sharing. He started listening to him. He starts giving his point of view. Mr. Lamb begins by telling him that everything that God has made interests him. And he points to that portion of his garden where he grows weeds. There are flowers, fruits, trees and herbs. And one side of his garden has weeds. He wants to know what is the difference there. It is all in our perspective, how we view things. Otherwise, everything created by God has a role to play. There is all life growing, same like you and me. He also tells about his disability. He tells Derry that there are many similarities between us. Although we are dissimilar, but yet we are same. I am old, you are young. You have a burnt face. I have a thin leg. Now, Derry wants to know why he has a thin leg. And Mr. Lamb says that the real one got blown off. And children tease him. They make fun of him by calling him Lamey Lamb. But that doesn't bother him. Now, Derry doesn't accept his disability as disability. Because to Derry, his disability is of a higher intensity. He has a burnt face, which can be seen by everyone. whereas Lamb's disability can be hidden. He can put on trousers. Then Mr. Lamb also points to Derry that there are many things to look at. Probably people are not noticing him because there are many other things. Like he gives him examples of his garden. And then he says beauty is relative. He gives him an example of Beauty and the Beast. But Derry is not convinced. He says this sort of story is not going to happen with me, where a maiden loved a monstrous beast, and then when she kissed him, he changed into a handsome prince. He says that this sort of thing is not going to happen with me because my mother also kisses on my face, which is normal. The other side of my face, which is burnt, she doesn't show her affection. Now, Mr. Lamb has an answer to this also. He says that if nobody kisses you, nobody shows affection on you, but it doesn't stop you from showing affection. The boy finds his viewpoint appealing, and then he starts to know from him whether his legs hurts. He empathizes with his problems. And then Derry says that there are people who try to tell him that there are many other people who are worse than him. Mr. Lamb says that's true. Derry also tells him his very personal things. He says that he heard two women, overheard rather, they were talking about him at the bus stop, and they were saying that such a terrible face only a mother can love. So Mr. Lamb says that, do you believe what they say? Probably they were not saying for you. And he should learn to keep his ears shut. If something is very demoralizing, probably it is not meant for him, or he should ignore it. Derry finds his talks very peculiar. He says, I am not able to understand you. Mr. Lamb says that the gate is open. If you don't want to hear me, you can leave. But he says that people view things differently. Some find the buzzing of bees a noise, but I see in the buzzing of bees music. He tells him another story of a man who locked himself up in a room and was unwilling to leave for unfounded fears. But then, even inside the room, he was not safe because a pitcher fell and he died. Now, Derry further shares. He says that people talk like this. They say, what is going to happen to him when they are no more? Mr. Lamb says, don't worry, you are very much normal. And probably, when they are no more, you might even do better. So don't worry. And then Derry wants to know, does he have friends? And Mr. Lamb says, hundreds. Friends everywhere. People come in. From here we'll continue the lesson. People come in. Everybody knows me. The gate's always open. They come and sit here. And in front of the fire in winter, kids come for apples and pears and for toffees. I make toffees with honey. Anybody comes. So have you. So he says plenty of people keep coming. Children keep coming. And he offers them toffee with honey. But I am not a friend, Derry says. Certainly you are. As far as I am concerned, what have you done to make me think you are not? You don't know me. You don't know where I come from. Why should that signify? Do I have to write all your particulars down and put them in a filing box before you could be a friend? I suppose not. You could tell me your name if you choose, and not if you didn't. Derry. Only it's Derek. But I hate that. Derry, I'm your friend. You don't have to be mine. I chose that. Certainly, I might never come here again. You might never see me again. And then I couldn't still be a friend. Why not? How could I? You pass people in the street and you might even speak to them, but you never see them again. It doesn't mean they are friends. So Derry has a different definition of friendship, of friends. But Mr. Lamb has altogether a different definition of friends. It is not necessary that a person whom you know very closely is only your friend. Any person you meet can be your friend according to Mr. Lamb. Doesn't mean they are enemies either, because they are, if you don't meet them, then they are not your enemies. No, they are just nothing. People, that's all. People are just nothing. Never. There are some people I hate. Derry says that there are people whom he hates that do you more harm than any bottle of acid. He says hatred does you more harm than any bottle of acid. Acid only burns your face. It gives you physical injuries. Only, like a bomb only blew up my life. There's worse things can happen. You can burn yourself away inside. And jealousy, hatred does that. It burns you from inside. After I'd come home, one person said he'd have been better off stopping in there in the hospital. He'd be better off with others like himself. She thinks blind people only out to be with other blind people and idiot boys with other idiot boys. So he's telling what he has heard people talking, that people with same disability should be grouped together, like blind with blinds, idiots with idiots, and people with no legs altogether. That's right. What kind of a world would that be? At least there'd be nobody to stare at you because you weren't like them. So you think you are just the same as all the other people with burnt faces just by what you look like? Everything is different. Everything is the same, but everything is different in itself. How do you make all out? He says, what sort of thinking, what sort of views you have? What gives you all these thinking? He wants to know. Watching, listening, thinking. This is why my view of life has changed. I'd like a place like this, a garden. I'd like a house with no curtains. Now just see, Derry is changing. He started appreciating. He has started liking things. He says, I like your garden. I'd like to have a house which has no curtains. The gate's always open. He says, you are welcome. But this isn't mine. But it is not my garden. Everything yours if you want it. What's mine is anybody's. He says, whatever is mine is everyone's. Derry, so I could come here again? Now just see. Earlier he was reluctant to come. He wanted to leave the garden. But now he wants to come here again. Even if you were out, I could come here again. At this point, we will stop and we'll continue the remaining in the next class. Thank you.